Welcome back to Critter Quest Education. Have you ever wondered what would happen if every animal stopped eating? Or if every plant just vanished? Well, buckle up, scientists. Because today, we're diving into the wild, wiggly, and sometimes yucky world of food chains. From worms to wombats, from grasshoppers to kingfishers, we're going to find out who's eating who, and why it matters for every living thing on Earth. But before we do, hit those buttons. Like and subscribe and stay hungry for more science content coming soon. Let's get started. So, who eats what in nature? Truth is, every single living thing in a habitat has a role to play. Whether it's growing, like these seedlings here, eating, like this wombat, breaking down wood, like these moth larvae, or being eaten yourself, like this dead cockroach, nature's got a job for everyone. And that, students, is what we call a food chain. But let's dig a little deeper. A food chain shows the feeding relationships between living things. Basically, who's having dinner and who is dinner. So, food chains. Let's start at the bottom with producers. Producers are the plants, like these grasses, and these eucalyptus trees, as well as this algae growing in the ocean here. Producers make their own food using sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide, a process called photosynthesis. And without photosynthesis and producers, all food chains would completely fall apart. Next up are the consumers. Consumers are organisms that eat living things. This includes plant-eating herbivores like moths and butterflies, or kangaroos and koalas, to name just a few. Consumers also includes the carnivores like owls, Tasmanian devils, or this crocodile, all of which primarily eat other animals. And the last group of consumers we'll be talking about today is the omnivores. Omnivores include animals like the platypus, emu, or even us humans, which all eat both plants and animals. But wait, there's one more super important group: the decomposers. Decomposers are fungi, like the mold growing on this bread, and microscopic bacteria, which we can't even see, and even tiny insects like beetles, worms, or insect larvae, all of which break down dead plants and animals. That's right. Decomposers, just like these compost worms you see here, break down dead plants and animals, returning nutrients to the soil and allowing new plants to grow. Pretty cool, right? Let's run through a food chain from start to finish, incorporating everything we've just learnt. We'll use an example from an Australian forest. We'll start with the gum tree, our producer. It's soaking up sunlight and making its own food through photosynthesis. Then comes a grasshopper, our herbivore consumer. It's munching on the plant's leaves. Now a lizard, our omnivore. This lizard eats fruits, berries, and unfortunately for our grasshopper, insects too. While the lizard's focused on his meal, soaring high up above is a kingfisher, a carnivorous consumer that eats meat. Our kingfisher spots the unsuspecting lizard and swoops down, catching and eating it. But it doesn't end there, as eventually the kingfisher dies too. That's when decomposers like fungi or insects get to work by breaking down remains and returning nutrients to the soil. And just like that, we've witnessed a food chain. Here's a tip. Arrows in a food chain always point the direction the energy flows, from the food toward the animal that eats it. You can pause now to copy this diagram into your books. Now, as we've learnt, producers, consumers, and decomposers play the main roles in a food chain. In this diagram, we can see how energy moves through each trophic level in the chain we just witnessed. Pause and copy this down too. Food chains are everywhere. In forests, in deserts, and in the oceans too. They're even under your feet in the soil we walk on. And when you put lots of food chains together, you get something even cooler, a food web. That's the whole network of who eats who in an ecosystem. So remember this, scientists. Producers make the food, consumers eat the food, and in the end, decomposers like fungi or insects break everything down. And together they keep every habitat buzzing, hopping, swimming, and growing. Pretty amazing, hey? Thanks again, curious students and amazing educators too. Please like and subscribe and comment or leave requests below. We'll be sure to get back to you. This video aligns with the Australian Curriculum Year 4 Science Content Description, AC9S4U01.